morning, this is Thalia MK at Founders 2.0 Conference 2025, and we have with us Mr. Renaud Vandewalle, and he is the founder and CEO for Cayus. And he has been awarded as an entrepreneurial excellence. First of all, congratulations, and thank you for being here. How does it feel to receive an award in the hub of CEOs?
Well, it's a wonderful experience. It's actually my first award since we started the company.
Wow, amazing. Why and how did you come up with that company idea?
Wow, that's like a long journey, like from the experience that I had in management. So I started as a IT like software engineer, so very much hands-on, but very quickly moved into project management and then management executive, managing director. And what I found is that I evolved in small like settings, small companies, and so you don't have the leadership training or the leadership support. You have
It's just a hierarchy based. You're working, okay, now 5 years you're promoted, but there is no leadership conference or education.
Yeah, you just learn from the mistakes of your managers, of your mistakes, and so that's how I evolved. And the idea for Cayus is to help the managers to develop their leadership on the go, so real time. We're using obviously the AI technologies for that as well. And it's also like contextual, so it's very pragmatic and it's in the now. It's not like in a room, in a seminar, which is good as well. But usually those seminars or training, they are
they're not
fairly
practical.
general.
There's more theoretical information and examples. So when do you, what kind of leaders you try to improve, or what other sectors or industries you focus on?
So we focus more on the companies that are mid-sized to large companies because helping those managers, what it does is that it gives them a score on what's their maturity as a leader, because you want to measure. In order to improve, you have to measure, and these measurements, these scores, we aggregate them so that HR people, human resources people in the people analytics departments, they will be able to look at which departments needs more support than others, and what type of leadership skills they would require, because leadership is about communicating smart goals. It's about providing feedback. There are different things, and if you can be laser focused on your training to provide to those different departments, then you'll get a lot more return on investment as well.
So when you are dealing with the leaders who are saying, I'm here in the industry for 10 years, I know better, and when you come up with them, how do you deal with the mindset of not arrogant but stiff leaders? How do you deal with that conflict?
Yeah, it's a tough one, because as a founder, and even later on in your career, you have to let go. Like you feel entitled in a way, because if I made it to managing director and now as a founder, it's because I've done something right.
Yeah.
Like everything that I did led to this
Something
path.
was right there.
However, I think it's Goldsmith who said that, but what gets you here won't get you there. Like you have to let go so that you can give people
100%.
enough space to grow
But
as a leader
as
as
you
well.
yourself are a new founder and a new company, what challenges do you think you faced and you overcome?
Well, it's kind of coming back from. I had a team before. We had like 15 people, back to pretty much zero, and then you grow with having your business model. So for me, the challenge was it's the learning curve. It's a different challenge when basically I grow in a company, and then I moved companies and became the managing director. And it's a different challenge when there's already a structure, there's already a culture, and you come in where as a founder you just start from scratch.
What difference do you find as you said, you're from European market to the Middle Eastern market? What is the one thing you find common, and what is the thing you feel it's quite difficult and different here?
Well, in terms of leadership, I grew up in France. I lived in Australia for a few years. I lived in Canada as well, and now I've been in the UK for 10 years, and also been managing remote teams in Jakarta, Indonesia. So, in terms of I've seen a lot of different cultures in management, and there's always foundations.
Yeah.
There's always the same foundations. We are,
I
human
feel
beings.
Middle Eastern or UAE people are more culturally, it's more of trust. Okay, I trust you, okay, fine, we'll do it without even reading into it.
Yes.
They're more emotionally invested. They're like, that comes, so it's very different. How do you deal or try, gonna hopefully start your market here and help here? How are the leaders you're thinking to overcome their fears or make sure that these leaders go ahead and be more brighter and bigger?
Right. So, as a leader, one important thing is to to find out what's the need of those managers that you're helping to become leaders. And so, what do they need? And it's the same thing as a manager with your employees, is to find out what they need from you, because everybody's different culture, but different personalities as well.
Yeah.
And I've got one of the managers that I had in my team was someone who needed to express a lot of things, to talk a lot. And in the past, I did not understood that in the past. Obviously, I've learned from my mistakes, but I was not listening to that person. I was keeping on writing emails. Yeah. I understand.
I know what you're saying.
But
I
I'm
get
busy,
it.
and that did not work really well. At some point, I found out that I realized I was the bottleneck in that company, so we needed to change. That's where I've changed my behaviors. I understood that she needed
I think
to
you
be
need to
heard.
be really self-aware and accountable for your own mindset, and rather than having a bubble wrap like, oh no, no, I'm good, without adapting, because everyday life is changing. On that way, as you know, AI has come in. Everybody's talking about AI. Entire
Yeah.
conference and year has been of AI. How much your company is affecting, or how much do you think the future looks like for the brands and the leaders?
Yes. Well, in terms of AI, it's enabling a lot more new things to happen. And so, in our case, that's the reason as well that we built this software. And I kind of reconciliated with my past as a software developer, because what we could not do in the past is, when you have a leadership training, most companies, they don't measure before and after, so you don't know what's been the impact of that training. And even if you try to track it, how would you do it? You will
100%.
just send like surveys where people self-assess, which has a bias. And so what
100%
we
is gonna be
do
biased.
using AI is that we are analyzing the communications. So it's real data. It's not
Yeah.
perception. So that's what this LLM and AI is providing, is that it can now analyze language, and that's how we use it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. But before you go, if anybody wants to reach out to you, how can they do that?
Well, one way is through LinkedIn, my LinkedIn profile, and also they could go to cayus.ai
Okay.
to find out more.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time and educating us. And on
Thank
that
you.
note, try to be curious, try to learn more. You're going to adapt and grow. And knowledge is always power, it will never be a waste. And be authentic, be kind, avoid using plastic, save water. This is Thalia MK signing off. Have a great day.